It could have even been less stressful against Ireland because let's be honest, they are a bunch of chokers. Okay, let me state that out. This isn't a restrictive atmosphere. Good day and welcome to the Green and Gold podcast, where we talk all things green and gold and all things rugby, and we do a little general conversation here and there as well. I'm Wasim Fredericks, and I'd like to introduce my co-host as well, or he'll introduce himself.
Saeed Mohammed, the mighty Springbok fan.
Yes, yes, indeed. And I'm a mighty Springbok fan myself, and we two Springbok super fans that just got tired of consuming Springbok related content and just decided to create content of our own. Isn't that right, Saido?
100%. And 100%. I think probably, Mr. Fredericks, it's been a while.
Yeah.
We are back-to-back champions.
Yes,
Uh,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
we
I
are
think the
ripping
last
it.
time, no, 100%, 100%. And it's weird because the last time we met, we weren't the back-to-back World Cup champions yet. We were just we were still trying to scuttle our way through, trying to find out who's gonna be that starting lineup against Scotland, and
Oh,
is it gonna be Lucanio? Do we play Mani Labuk? Does he even go with to the World Cup? And my oh
hey,
my,
hey.
what is happening this year, Saeed?
Oh,
Sure.
uh, let's talk about last year. I think that's where we have to just recap, right? My goodness, I'm speechless.
No,
Um,
no.
every Springbok man's dream. We took the mighty All Blacks out in the final. No one can say we've never
Mm-mm-mm.
beat the best team in the final. 1-1-1-1. You can say it was 1 point, but it was the genius behind our management and our coaches, and
Yeah,
we're the best in the world. No
yeah,
team
the
has ever
best in the
done
world.
4 times.
And against the best of opposition, the Bull Cup's worst nightmare. The Bull Cup's worst nightmare. Let me say that, okay? So, it could have been less stressful had it been in England. I
Yeah,
mean, it could have even been less stressful against Ireland because let's be honest, they are a bunch of chokers, okay? Let me state that out. This isn't a restrictive atmosphere. I'm gonna say it. You can come at me. Had it been the chokers in the final, been a lot more than the one score. I promise you that. Okay, that's where
100%.
experience comes in. But but what I
Oh,
heard.
you are throwing down and you are burning those people straight up to the
Look,
Irish.
I'm really not. I'm speaking out of experience. Let's be honest.
Yeah, true.
I heard they releasing a new documentary. It's called Chasing the Semis. So, um, I mean, if there's a documentary on its way of that nature, then I don't know what more is there
Bye.
that I can say. Chasing the semis is not gonna play on SuperSport. Might be on
Yeah,
YouTube.
100%. Yeah, we will
Might be.
see. But wait, let's what a beautiful year. What a
Yeah.
beautiful journey. The boys coming through, us playing 4 scrum-offs to the World Cup that we didn't predict at all. Grant Williams, Faf Kobus playing in in one match. I think it
Sure.
was a history in the making.
No,
Uh,
100%.
Mani Lebok with the no-looker cross kick. Oh, ice in my veins. My
Yo,
goodness.
definitely. The
Andre
balls. The
Pollard,
balls.
Andre Pollard replacing Malcolm Marx, a flower coming in for hooker.
Sure.
Dion Fourie being one of the best unsung heroes, a story that I think one of the best stories ever at age 36. You're going to Stormers to retire, and next thing you know, you captaining the box in the final in the
Exactly.
last
Look,
20 minutes.
and I wanna add on this because I don't hear anybody else speaking about this, and especially I think we could relate to it a little bit more how hard felt it actually is because I'm not sure if you remember, but the golden era of the Stormers, you had Dion on a number two, right? And he wasn't a number six there because number
Yeah.
six, the flanks there, we had the likes of Skalky, right? But the role he played as a hooker at the Stormers in the golden era, I'm talking Jean de Villiers, Jacques, right next to him,
Dion
you know?
Liebenberg.
So we've always known. he was on that
Yeah.
level. And to see him finally get that recognition, it's a masterpiece, and it's just all over just I don't
The
know.
full circle.
It's a magic.
Full
It's a full
circle.
circle. I couldn't
No,
get the
no,
phrase.
actually,
I made the movement,
the
but
movement.
you got
He
the
was
word, and that's
actually
why you're on the pod.
now now that you're actually mentioning it, Rassi was his coach back then as well. When he was
E-
Tiro Liedenberg, Dion Fourie,
Exactly.
Becker, Reina Alstad,
What a
Dwayne
team!
Vermeulen, Francois Lowe. Oh my goodness,
Francois
the
Lowe
legend.
and Skulk, yeah, that's
Oh,
the
Ricky
the back
January,
three. Ricky January
Peter
fly off,
Grant.
Peter Grant on the fly off, miskien 'n Brian on a wing.
Yes,
Or
yes.
if
I
not
can't
Brian, then
really.
it's Mr. Nakelevuki. No.
Choo.
So he
Well,
was in
Apple
that
even, right?
mix. Oh, Aplon there as well. So he was in that mix of absolute superstars, and the bulk of those players are Gone with the Wind. Or I wouldn't say Gone with the Wind. Some of them had become uh, super sport superstars. But I mean, that just speaks to the magnitude of the man to be able to
Yeah, yeah.
play at that level for as many years. I've got, and I don't want to speak to this too much, but I mean, I have a, a vivid memories of him with the long curly hair, just trying to throw a shot to each and every guy he was looking for a battle with on the during Super Rugby. So
Pick
for
one.
for me,
Pick one. Do you
what
do
an
you do you think
experience.
he has a link to one World Cup? One more World Cup?
Jeez, dude, that's Ruan Pina levels you're looking for right now. That is a Ruan level you're looking for now. But unfortunately, I don't think so. After that last hit, I think he had at Stormers against La Rochelle. I think that I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna make a comeback after that particular knee injury. I think it is that he has at the moment. But we'll have to see. I mean, the you can never count the man out. The
Yeah,
oldest Springbok debutant. So who knows what you can expect from the man, huh?
100%. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what the year unfolds. But once we get there, we will have that conversation and dwell into it, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are gonna have that conversation. Speaking of which, in I think it's only right that we speak about the documentary that was recently wrapped up. Seeing that we spoke about chasing the semis, let's highlight uh, a few more stories. I think we heard apart from Dion's story in chasing the sun. Another one that stood out to me was Kurtley Arendse as well. Have you heard his
Uh,
story?
what is to, listen, let's just put a finger on this, right? When you check those Springbok supporter and they have not watched Chasing the Sun, are they even worthy of being called a supporter? Number one,
I'm
right?
I'm
That,
I'm
that,
gonna
that I'm just putting it out there, right?
I'm gonna
If
I'm
you
gonna
did
keep
not, I'm gonna bring it even further back, right? How are you a South African and you have not watched Chasing the Sun season one? I'll even take it back to season one, to season two, not knowing your mom Pimpy story. And now with season two unfolding three beautiful stories. And one of it, of course, being Dion. Another one, which I don't know if you're going to touch on, would have been the Bongi story, Bongi
ooh,
Marambe. Beautiful
wow.
story. And then Curtly, oh my goodness.
Man was
And
in
I'm
excellent, my friend. Man was in
I'm a
excellent.
very I'm a very deep person, right?
Mm,
And if that shows you that never give up, man, and
yeah.
just have that hope. Like you played Varsity Cup, was the shield for you dubs, um,
Yeah, not
bushies,
even on that level. Yeah, he was playing Shield.
not even the bushies, playing in the Fynbos, and then you're going back and you're giving basically almost subtly giving up, but you don't give up that hope, and you're going to work in a butcher.
Sure, sure.
And next thing you know, your
Just to
next
make
call
ends
number
meet.
a few weeks down a few months down the line, you left in the Whip Ellis Cup in France, my friend.
Yeah. Nah. What a story. And I was surprised because, you know, you wouldn't expect it. I mean, I personally, I've never seen it. Of course, it's clear from that story he did have a late start, right? I mean, I can speak of a guy like Cheslin, who you heard of through the grapevine. He may not been on that Springbok level yet, but I mean, we always heard of this. I don't know if it on your side also this high schooler from
Yeah,
Brakenpel that was just uh, chopping up the mense. But I mean, Kurtley was out there chopping up the meat, you know, and it's just crazy that through hard work you can just go from one day being an absolute no one knows you up, and
yeah,
then the next one you starting at the Blue Bulls, you are ripping the Mensa up, and then
yeah.
next thing you know, you at
To call
Springbok
up his
level
game.
to
No,
call
look
up
here,
his
like
game.
for me, from a Chess and Colby aspect, I was at the UW, so studying accounting, and
Yeah,
now wife girlfriend was also studying. She, I think, was in a
yeah,
doing a board, and she stayed on the same race like me. So I used to
mm,
pop into see Chess. At that time, he was still skirting a golf six or
yeah,
golf seven GTI.
yeah,
I think it was still sponsored by what's it? In one what's it? In one city mark
yeah.
in one VW.
Yes, yes, I know what you're
Um,
talking about.
and
Yeah,
that was also the big thing. Just
right.
knew
Yes,
like now this is in Kilby. This man is
yeah.
a step up level province and
Ripping the
doing
people up. Yeah,
Africa.
yeah.
Next thing you know, this man is ripping the second most paid player in the world. But yeah, coming back to Chasing the Sun, my goodness, the dynamics, the hidden stories behind everything.
Sure.
Felix, the legend.
Wow,
Felix, the
wow, wow,
legend.
wow.
The man that I don't think we give the one that we lost. Um, what a general, what a guy be the analytics champion, man. My goodness, he
100%.
takes any team and he just like he unfolds it
He
from
rips them
YouTube
apart.
videos like this, for example, videos like this where we're analyzing, and he will go
He
take it
went in
further and
that
he will,
rabbit hole. He went in that rabbit hole. He went to go slow it down, replay it, try to listen what they're saying. Oh, dude, I scanned it. The man's a genius. The man's a genius. And if England,
and you can see what he's doing to England now. My
yeah,
goodness.
no, 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 exactly. And it's not just him, man. I think from the previous Chasing the Sun as well, you really, and I think in the new one more, you get to see what people like him, Jacques, the work that those guys really put in
Hmm.
behind the scenes, and it makes me anxious. It really makes me a little bit anxious for the future. I mean, uh, we lost two key players in that coaching staff with Felix and Jacques. And I mean,
Yeah.
Rassi and Jacques has been a duo that I think has,
Since college days, bro.
yeah, 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 exactly, since the army, as they said, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just not sure. And I'm not sure Rassi even knows how to handle that a coaching life without Jacques is going to be an
Hmm.
interesting one. The
And
legendary
I'm
rush defense that we saw from the
executed,
Storm is
executed,
to the T, and
executed.
it's gonna be a tricky one. It's gonna be a tricky one, but I mean, I'm I must say from watching Chasing the Sun Part One, um, as you know, in the last Rugby World Cup, the main thing that we had there was our scrum, right? Especially in the final game against England. I mean, we were ripping them up in terms of the scrum. Almost each and every scrum was a scrum penalty,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was at the hands of our previous scrum coach was
Matthew
Matthew
Proudfoot.
Matthew Proudfoot. And I thought when we lost him, dude, how are we gonna get that level back? Maar stap
It's
in
all in the
meneer
bucket that, my friend.
Dan Newman. Hey, my gosh, what a legend! What a
It's all
legend!
in the bucket that.
Yes, yes. And I'm sure you've seen the meme as well about how he's like the typical example of what a Springbok scrum coach should actually look like. And my goodness, does he not just play his part from the look to
Everything. But you know
to the
what, man?
execution? Yo,
I watched this, right? I'm part of other organizations that I assist
yeah,
wherever may need be. And a lot of it is that I always turn back to Chasing the Sun, man. And how motivational these talks that I see and Jacques them give, man.
sure.
And how nobody there, like in the book, ever thought they'd be where they had to be.
Hmm.
Like if they what's the name, if future was scripted, they shouldn't have been where they were, man.
Exactly.
And how they use the EQ to
Yeah.
overcome and give him that extra 2%. Like everybody asks, oh, he's won by 1%, 1%. And I watched that, I think I didn't watch it, the rugby pod. I think it's a podcast. And I watched
Yeah.
how they analyzed it. Like, and Dan Bigger was saying is that he asked him like, why do you guys win by 1%, or 1 point,
Yeah.
1 point? And it's like
Yeah.
that's that 1 or 2% that of what we're
The
fighting for back
extra.
home.
Yeah.
And what
Exactly.
Felix has done for the Springboks and what he's doing for the England, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, same with Jacques is doing by Leinster. You don't have the caliber of players that you have here in South Africa. Is that you
Exactly.
don't have what we fight for. And
Exactly.
and that's more, man. That's more than that. Like, and I think that's the fight we have right now. So Chasing the Sun, best sporting documentary rated internationally in the world, number one. Number two, they created a sequel that was better than the first one. That
Exactly. I
has never
didn't think you
happened.
could. I didn't think you could. I really didn't think you could. But I mean, I think maybe I mean when you extract, I think it's the first one could sometimes come across as a little bit sweeter just because of where we were
Yeah,
in the world, right?
yeah,
In terms of losing to Japan, the hiding we got from the World Cup. I mean, it's that sweetness from the first one, but I mean, Chasing the Sun 2 is just as they say, it's for South Africa. It's
yeah,
just in the way that they they kind of channeled that inner krach like you spoke of, right?
yeah,
And I think you see it also in the example that almost none of the Springboks are regularly in when they choose a world a perfect team, right? Where they choose the
yeah,
best flyer off the best scrummy. There's almost the rare player you'll see there is miskien 'n Eben, right? That
yeah,
they'll have on there. But the fact that when it comes to talent, right? We may not have that standout superstars that
mm.
was that the number nine of France that Anton
The
uh,
bond.
Dupont skill set of
Mhm.
be able to do that around the back stuff that is onnodig, right? But it's that the drive and the willingness to want to make the land smile, and that's
Yeah,
that's that's just so clear to see
more than rugby,
from
man.
looking at, yeah, 100%.
It was more than rugby. It was playing the mind games with France since the All Blacks came prior to the World Cup, making sure that we don't play the same team
What I
because
really
they had
wanted
to.
to highlight was the fact that regularly, consistently for the past 4 years, the Monday or the Tuesday, our team is released already, my friend, right? But come World Cup time, is they're making us wait until the Friday sometimes, until
The last time, bro.
the
The
team
last
announced.
month.
So it's the planning from 4 years ago to say that, okay, so each game up until the lead up of, or up until the World Cup, we're going to be releasing our team already at the start of the week. So you'll expect to see this, and you'll expect to see a certain team as well. You're
Yeah.
going to expect to see your starters, the Bongis at number two, and the regular, and then you've got the bomb squad, but they just
Yeah.
went ahead and completely flipped that around to the extent that I never even expected that the game against New Zealand is going to be a 7-1. I thought, okay, yeah, we're playing France, we're playing a 5-3, and England will probably play and then they played the 5-3 against England again, and then New Zealand. I thought, okay, surely we're looking to get the regular guys again, from the
Yeah. Yeah.
the quarter and the semi, and then boom, a 7-1 split.
Like, yeah, I think we can talk whole day about Chasing the Sun and the recap of the 2023 World Cup. Um, but
I
I
think
think
what's
just
more crucial is that we speak about the mastermind, our newly appointed Meneer and Chief, Doctor Rassi Erasmus, who the man that is pulling all kinds of strings to make this happen.
I don't know what more. Like I watched this his
Speech.
graduation, right?
Mm,
And the post speech, you see it like he has never been this nervous in his life before. He's
mm,
done a press conference, and but I think this doctorate was just more than just a doctorate, man. It was a it's what he's done for the country, what he's done for the nation that I don't think we realize. And I think, sorry to be this deep, but I think this is what the father of the nation has said, what, 20 years ago.
Mm.
Basically,
100%.
sports is going to change it. And look at what it has done now with with the country. Like everybody has watched rugby. I know diehard soccer fans, diehard Gunners and Liverpool
Mm.
fans that they said
Yeah.
after the 2023 World Cup, they struggled to watch soccer again because it wasn't as exciting. It
That,
was,
no, really.
sorry, I need to go back to chasing the sun and I need to go
Yeah.
back to the 23 World Cup. This is about
Yeah.
Rassi. However, can we just commend my honorable Peter Stiftertoy smashing
The
the
mom is
bone
very missile. The mom
the
is very
bone eater.
missile.
The What was that? The who was he? Who was he finished the Jody Barrett? He was annihilating
I
him,
had a
biting that
problem with
man's.
Jody Barrett, man. You really had a problem with him that night. I mean, I think we all had a problem with him that night because I think what we sometimes skip to see is the fact that the man was playing as well. Huh? Jordy,
Oh,
Jordy,
after
Jordy
every hit,
was he
he
was
got up.
making trouble. He was making trouble. I mean, I think who was it that nearly went to score there? I think it was Dialendi. It was a try that he actually held up. I think
Yeah,
it was Dialendi that nearly got over the line. And I mean, as much as Peter Steph was just grabbing him and stabbing him,
eating him.
he just stood up and he just did his
Bro,
thing
I was
again.
watching it. Of course, I watched it at home, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I could hear that hit. I could hear bones crack. However,
No.
I just thought that was an honorable mention to Peter Steph, the bone
Peter Steph,
eater.
no, he deserves it. He deserves it. The Mama's Perry Masal.
So,
He deserves all the smoke, my friend. And I'm very curious to see what he manages to actually do within this year. Speaking of him, actually, the way he stood up also, that halftime talk against England speaks to the leadership that he could play as well in the team, seeing that we sort of hanging in the air with regards to who's going to be the captain of the Springboks now. We've got so
yeah,
many
yeah, yeah.
nominees. But I'm curious to actually know on your side, who would you look at like as like a genuine option? Because
Okay.
to be honest, as inspirational as that was by Peter Steptoe, I feel like it was a, like a once off
Yeah,
half
yeah, yeah.
time talk.
My
So
my 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 thing
realistically.
is right now is Sia personally controversial comment I'm gonna make now. Probably gonna get
Mm.
backlash, but I think his time is done. Yeah, this time brilliant leader. I'm not taking anything away from him. Brilliant leader, but it's time to hand over the baton.
I'm
We're
just gonna
not gonna
stop
do
you
it.
there. I'm gonna stop you there real quick. Would you still give him the number six jersey if he's not the captain?
You see, that is a very fence-setting question for me because he's one of those players when he dons that number six jersey, he is a
Mm.
beast.
He
However, he
is.
can only give us 40 minutes, right?
He can. Yeah.
But with the youngsters that are coming up the ranks now, with the Aldi Lows and the Evan Roos,
And the
and
Trokkie, and the Trokkie. Have you seen Trokkie over the weekend against I
yes,
think it's Leinster,
yes,
and he's
like
playing out of his
these are the
skin.
numbers coming up. Perhaps, perhaps even a maybe just this season coming up, and then we're offloading him. But I do not think. I think now it's time for a new captain. It's time to have all the baton. So maybe having the setup as the leadership and the expertise, etc. But who do I think? There's multiple, right? There's Bongi, right? But Bongi is also of age when he's hitting
He's
his
also
seasons.
nearing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Kitsov fan, but Kitsov is also heading down. Heading, so most of these guys, and I feel like Ras is gonna come in with with a whole new
Also,
team.
also changes. And right
I'm looking at
and
Kanye Arm. I'm looking at Arm. Maybe Pixie
realistic
what's
option. Yeah.
Puta Lazy. Puta Lazy is
Talese.
also very. I don't know. I really
Hmm.
don't know. I would love to give you an answer. Salman, maybe, but Salman also has been very injury prone. So it's very
Exactly.
questionable.
Yeah, no, 100%. The thing is, the reality is that if we would like to stand a chance in making that chasing the Sun 3. I think it's been emphasized quite extensively by Jacques and Rassi. Or not that Jacques has a say anymore, but
Yeah,
Rassi as well as has pretty much emphasized that in order to win a World Cup, you need that mixture of experience
yeah,
and some new guys, right? And I think if we're looking at not doing a lot of changes during the lead up to the World Cup, it's not going to leave room for us to breed anyone new. So along with
correct.
the Sia option, you said we've obviously we have our Rooses, we got our Trokkies, we got our Elrich Lows, right? I think it extends even a bit further than that. I mean, we've got a starting scrummy in Mr. De Klerk that might not also see us through to chasing the Sun 3. So we even looking at role swaps over there, looking at the option of maybe a Grant Williams and Jaden Hendricks, who I wouldn't mind swapping for a young Ambrose Papier at at this very
It's
moment.
come off from the Lions now. I can't get his name now. He kicks his flyer.
Sanele no Hamba.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he covers 10 as well, bro. And
exactly. And
it's
yeah,
that's what
and
Russ likes.
I mean, I know especially the test against Wales, I think it is that we're starting off with,
Yeah.
would be a good opportunity to obviously give those new guys a run. But to answer, I don't think you asked me in return, but I think, and it's just an injury. It's just a pity he's been so injury prone. I really think, and I think you can see it in the Stormers as well. Salman is not only has he been an inform lock in the few games that he's played,
Yeah.
but it really does look. I mean, I'm just going based off Instagram now, but I mean, it looked like the players they do actually look up to him, and it does seem as though he's a good leader. So we might just go from the first Black Springbok captain to the first.
Oh, colored.
Yeah, actually, yes. Did we not have one? I don't know. That's one to
No,
actually research and speak about in the next episode.
I don't know.
But
We'll ask
speaking of
people
breeding
can
in
answer
those
that
new
question.
questions, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, they can answer that. Did we ever have a colored Springbok captain? Answer that for us. Uh, However, we're deviating from breeding in the new players. I'd like to ask you, apart from breeding in the new players against Wales, who's your starting lineup real quick against Ireland, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I
You you have a minute. You have a minute.
sure. I don't know. Uh, phew, with Tony Brown being there, we didn't even touch on that.
Running.
Um,
You say we're running.
no, we're running gaten. We are breaking lines. Okay, cool. Shubit. I love Mani. I'm gonna go with the running team for now. I go with Info Mani Labuk. They can
Mm,
kick. Right?
100%. It will be.
Um, I'm I'm gonna stick with my centers. I'm gonna go with Damien for now. I'm gonna go with Am on the outside.
And Krilly, you're not gonna give him after his World Cup?
Nah,
No.
nah. I'm
That's
um,
cold. That's
I,
cold, son.
yeah, I love him. I'm just not a fan of him. Brilliant. They had a
Yeah.
brilliant World Cup. Um, I'm gonna try. Of course, I have my Kirtley and my Caden Moody slash Suleiman Atzenberg because he's
Yeah.
playing phenomenal.
He's playing out of his skin. I was
Um,
Ramadan Sulaiman. Ramadan Sulaiman was on point,
was
man.
the Bobo and the Farula Sheikh.
Hey,
Okay.
at your hello.
Uh, Damien on 15, no doubt about that. My scrummy,
100%.
very questionable. I'll probably play a Grant or a Jaden on the scrum off.
Yeah.
Eighth man, questionable, but it's probably going to go to Jasper, but I'm not a Jasper fan.
Mm.
Roos, I love Roos. I also just don't feel like he has rise to the occasion as yet. So it's probably going to go to Jasper Visa. Six, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna leave. That is my backline for you. I can't give you my forwards as yet because I don't know. But I think amongst once you give your team and maybe we can release our own green and gold team that we can.
We'll
go
do
that off.
that. You gave us the back line, right?
Yeah.
I'll I'll
Who would you
I'll
change?
I'll give you your. I'm not like that, man. I'll give Jesse. I think Lucanio. And I really I watched him over the weekend as well, and I think he had a awesome game, right? But I don't know. I'll hand that to Jesse Krill just because he deserves it, right?
Okay.
So it's just not about not about my nafs or anything like that. It's I'm gonna give it to him because he deserves it, right? But then I
Yeah.
think I'll leave the backline the same, and our wings also. I think we'll do the wings of that we had against New Zealand, and I'll go
Yeah.
Chesen, and I'll go Kirtley as well. And
Okay.
then for my front row, I want to see Marks. I need to see Marks. Right, I need to
Yeah.
see Marks in that number 2 jersey, and
I'm
I
in
think
agreement with that.
Mbanambi is just needs to find his way a little bit because I don't know if you've watched the Sharks game over the weekend, but the Lions needed a bit of love. I like the props from the World Cup as well, so I'll go starting actually just to see how they start off would be Mr. Nyakani, so
Mm.
Trevor and Oxniche, of course, the cake instead of the salad guy in a lot smoother than the way that I said it. Locks will go Earburn and Luat. Haven't seen that guy in a while.
Yeah.
Six. See ya, 6. See ya, 6. We'll do that. At number 7, do we have another number 7 other than Peter Steph? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, we do. I'm just saying. Why would you not play?
Yeah. 100%.
And then at number 8, I'd like to see Roos have a go. Right, I'm a Stormers man, so I'd
Yeah.
like to see Roos have a go. I think his Stormers season has been a little bit iffy, but in the last few games, I think he really managed to get his flow, and that would be the pack of 8 that I think
Yeah.
I'll be going with. But we're going to make it nice. We'll have it in a nice layout to give you the green and gold starting 15 against Ireland. But please do let us know what you think the starting lineup against Ireland should look like. What do we have, or who do you have in mind to make sure that we don't have a repeat of that very, very
Yeah.
heart
I'm
sore.
very much for that as well. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with us? Don't you agree? Do you think it's a Jesse? Do you think it's a Am? Do you think it's a Pollard ice in my veins? Or do you think it's a
Phew.
Mani no looker on your 10
Do
against
you
Ireland?
think do you think Khalil Leroux should still be that number 1 in the 7-1 split? Because if not, who else? That's one for you that you can think about. Can we do the 7-1 split even without Mr. Uh, Leroux? Does Mr. Komazulu take that spot as number 1 in the 7-1 split? Uh, so
Who's
those
your
are things that
captain?
are running through my mind.
Who's your
The
captaincy?
captain, I think from what I saw in Chasing the Sun, it can only be Mr. Mbanambi for right now,
Mm.
uh, provided that they don't get to an agreement. Because of course, I think the problem and why we won't have Sia as the captain in the first place is because of the regulations at the club and how regularly we need him here. So if that's the case, Mr. Mbanambi is a shark. He is in the country. So that would be nice to see. And he leads from the front, and he always has a good game as the captain. But
Mm.
if not, look on your arm.
No, this was a very in-depth episode, but I do look forward to the weeks to come of what we're going to unfold with URC,
The
Champions
playoffs,
Cup,
playoffs.
Europeans Cup.
Yeah,
There's so much to talk about and so much that's still happening. The alignment camps that is called off, that's now a virtual alignment camp.
true.
The endless, like I said, the Tony Browns, the Irish forward coach here in South Africa. What next is the legend Rassie gonna come up with?
exactly.
What makes it key that
I just wanted to add because I think you missed out on a, s- Super Rugby, but I'm not huge on Super Rugby. I do catch the playoff games, but yeah. So if there is any Crusaders supporters, which I think is not a good idea in this
yeah.
day and age. I was just looking rather whack on that side, but we'll try to squeeze in a little bit of this the Super Rugby as well.
Very
But
outlier, Mr. Fredericks, an outlier one I want to mention quickly. The schoolboy rugby in South Africa.
mm,
Hawkeyes, my goodness. I personally, I'm a Wynberg boys fan. Um, Wynberg boys and Bosch played this past weekend. It was a
mm.
derby. So I would like the people to comment below if you'd like us to maybe just touch on that schoolboy rugby. The Ball Boys, the Roos, the Bosch, the Bishops, the Milnerton. Millie's beating Bishops. Oh my goodness.
We really
But
should
anyway,
we really should explore it because the gees and the vibe that is around schoolboy rugby. I mean, when I watched those war cries, I feel like, hey, can I be in here? Can I apply? Can I do matric again? Right? Can I try to get my bachelor's
yes, man.
this time around? I promise I'll do my best.
And my
So we really
sons
have to
doesn't
speak
know.
about it.
By the will of God, he's going to Wambo Boys. For gears and vibes, they got distinctions for me. They actually have the cum laude in vibes.
Yeah, no,
Um,
100%. So speaking about cum laude in vibes, that's it for the Green and Gold podcast. We hope that you vibed with us as well. If not, uh, there's always next week. And there's always not just next week, there's always the socials as well. So I can't remember the handles, but it will be on the screen. I promise you of that. It's gonna be here, or there, or wherever Mr. Mohammed over there thinks it should be as well. But that's it from my side. I'm out for now. Any last words, Mr. Mohammed?
nah, nothing for me. Let's just support the boys, back them 100%. And all the best to the teams, to the Stormers, to Sharks. Well done. Congratulations to making it through to the semis. And we look forward to see what's coming up. And we look forward to when Sarah will be releasing the Cape Town and Springboks versus All Blacks game. They are delaying it, but we are there. We are there.
Ek is hard besig. Ek sit maar 100 rand away each month. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but man, I have to be there. I haven't experienced one live yet, so we need to be there. We need to do a vlog for the mense that hasn't experienced this historic game where the Cape is divided once more. So we're going to speak about that and a lot more on the next episode of the Green and Gold podcast. For now, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, please like and leave a comment to the Green and Gold podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Why? Thank you so much.